Hello, what is up, guys? Oh my god, I forgot who I am. Hello, what is up, guys? Evil Duo Time here today, back with another Blade and Soul video. Today's video, we are going to be taking a look at the development team Q&A that we talked about in yesterday's video. So if you didn't see yesterday's video where we talked about the future of Blade and Soul and the producer's letter, make sure to check that out. But in today's video, we're going to focus exclusively on the development team Q&A, go over the questions that were asked, and some interpretations of the answers here. So if you want to watch this video on your own, link is in the description below. Go ahead, watch it on your own. If you're new to the channel, new to Blade and Soul, or enjoy the content on the channel, make sure you're subscribed and have notifications turned on so you get updates when videos like this do go live. But anyway, without further ado, let's go through the questions that they were asked and give some of my interpretations as to their answers. So the very first question they were asked is obviously the one that's on everybody's mind, and that is regarding Unreal Engine 4. What can you tell us about how this will work on the EU and NA versions of the game? And the answer was, it'll be better. There's your TLDR version of that. It's going to be more optimally optimized. So yeah, not much more information than we already knew on that one. Next question is actually really interesting, the answer that we end up getting out of it. So it's basically saying that Blade and Soul is going to be moving into its 5th year on the NA and EU servers. So what is the plan going forward for Blade and Soul? So the first thing that they talk about is how they're going to keep adding new classes and more dungeons to the game. So that's pretty straightforward and understandable here. But the next few things that they talk about here in this answer is really interesting. The first one is that they're going to add seasonal progression to dungeons, or they're thinking about adding seasonal progression to dungeons. I don't even know what this would mean. Maybe it's a similar system to like Tower of Infinity where there's season rankings based on how quickly you finish dungeons and whatnot. They've already dabbled in that a little bit with some of the systems changes that were added throughout the year last year. So maybe something more like that provides you an additional incentive to perform well in dungeons. The next thing that's really, really big on this little announcement here is that Act 11 that comes out in June of this year, 2020, will be the final act in the current story of Blade and Soul. There will be no more story content that follows the current story arc that the game is running us through here. Instead, when Act 12 comes out, your character is going to get a new way to experience the world, an ever-expanding world, continuing with your journey. So it's interesting that they are ending the current story arc and starting a completely new one. That's something maybe that will be coming with Unreal Engine 4, and that's kind of the plan, that Unreal Engine 3 ends with Act 11, and now Unreal Engine 4 will bring us all this new world and everything to explore. I don't know exactly how it's going to work, but that is what it's looking like, or something like that. Could be interpreting it completely wrong, but that's what it looks like to me. Next question is, how hard is it to come up with third specialization skills for classes and blah 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 blah? It's hard. Okay, nice question. Next question, what inspired the design for the Assassin's third specialization? Shadows and killing things and Zed from League of Legends. There's your answer on that one. Do you have any plans to add new classes? This is another big one that a lot of people want to know about. So a lot of people are like, well, what's the next class going to be? Is it going to be the speared one? Is it going to be a sword and shield? Neither of those. It is going to be focused on using orbs and divine energy, whatever that means. And then the rest of the answer is that the design is in the development stage and they're not going to share anymore. So it's going to use orbs and divine energy. So interesting what we got coming out with that. What is the setting for the next raid that's coming out in the game? And it basically just talks about a bunch of the lore for the next raid and the blah blah blah. Honestly, I don't even know half of these NPCs, so I would recommend watching this bit if you wanted to actually learn about the lore of the next raid. Next question was, what is Act 11 going to be on, but no spoilers, so I don't really know how they could even answer that question without giving spoilers, but basically, we're going to be following Mushin into the Divine Realm, figure out what he's been doing there, run into some old friends, some new friends, and something to look forward to in the game, so that's what we got out of that question. The final question that got asked during this was the PvP in Shackled Isles, which, if you remember, was the Battle Royale system that Blade and Soul threw in there to try and copy off on the big Battle Royale system with like your PUBGs and Fortnites, how those were all taking off at the time earlier this year. Their attempt at it, which ultimately didn't perform very well in Blade and Soul. Basically, they said they looked into it, they realized that it wasn't working entirely well, and they want to go ahead and adjust the map and adjust the gameplay and balance the classes a little bit more to give everybody a more even footing in the content when they do bring it back out and try and push it again. So interesting that they're taking a look at it. But anyway, guys, that is basically it for their Q&A with the dev team. So quite a few interesting questions with some interesting answers. I'm really excited about the story content to see where that's going to go. And it's also cool that the new class is teased a little bit as to what it's going to be like. Anyway, guys, if you did like the video, make sure to leave a like, check out some of the other videos on the channel, and make sure you're subscribed so you stay updated when new content like this comes out on the channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next stream, video, or wherever I happen to see you. Peace.